dash cam.
Well, welcome to the dash cam with Derrick. I want to thank Caleb for taking care of it last week. I guess you can call that Caleb on the porch, but I appreciate him taking care of it. Well, we're going to go grab me something to eat. We're going to go to a place that is probably my kid's favorite place to go, and that's McDonald's. And we normally get the 20-piece chicken nugget meal for my youngest one, Cam. Braden usually likes a chicken sandwich from McDonald's, and my oldest one usually gets the Big Mac. And of course, everybody likes their fries. I love their fries. And if you deny that they could possibly be the greatest fries of all time, then there's something wrong with you. Well, what I'm going to order today is something I'm not going to eat. Matter of fact, I'm going to give it to Brian if he wants it. If he doesn't want it, I'm going to find somebody else that may want it. But what I'm going to order has something to do a little bit with where we are in Jesus and his meals through the gospel. And so we covered the tax collector, we covered the woman who came, the uninvited guest, I guess you can say there in Luke. And so today we're in Luke chapter 9, and we're going to talk about the great miracle of feeding the 5,000. When you think about that story, there are multiple things that come across. The amount of people there are, 5,000 people. Really, they say, historians and scholars believe that there's really upwards of probably 10 to 15,000 people who have gathered to hear Christ. You hear about that story and you think about the disciples, you think about their doubts, you think about their advice. When you hear that story of feeding of the 5,000, you think about the little boy and the loaves and the fish that he has. That really, I mean, that was going to be for him. That was his meal. That was what he was going out to do, to go fishing, catch some fish, and to provide for his family. Well, all that changed. And so there are two things I want to bring up about this story that I think is extremely important when we think about the feeding of the 5,000. And we can see this throughout the scriptures. That is that Christ is able to take the little things in our life and do extremely big things. You know, you may look at your talents and you may look at some ailments that you have. You may say, hey, this is too small for Christ. He's not going to worry about this with me. Or, hey, my gift, my talent's not quite as big as, this individual's. I can't do the things that he does or that she does. He's not going to be able to use that. And this story should take care of any doubt in your mind that what you have is big enough to carry the gospel of Christ to the world. He literally took 5 loaves and 2 fish, and he was able to feed 10 to 15,000 people. You think about, what Moses had. You think about Samson and what he had. You think about all the different mighty men of David and what they possessed, what they held. And it didn't matter if it was a sword or a jawbone or an ox goad, or it didn't matter what you saw. Loaves of bread, of fish. What in our minds may be inadequate, it may be small, it may not be anything that we can use. God says, this is all I need. And so if you feel doubt in your life, you feel like, hey, there's no way that I can help the spread of the kingdom of God, let me tell you, you can be used. God can take what you have and do some really big things in your life. And so here in a minute, I'm about to order this fish sandwich. And after I order this, I'm going to share with you the second part I think is really huge in this story that maybe sometimes we overlook. And so I'm about to grab something to eat. Hopefully you're able to eat. I'm looking forward to sharing this fish sandwich with somebody else other than me. Glass windows are new. Look at this. Don't even have to stop. Appreciate it.
You have a good one.
All right. Here it is. I've never seen it, never had it. The Filet-O-Fish. Brian, have you ever had a Filet-O-Fish? You haven't? Oh man, look, we almost, look at that car. About had a wreck. Go ahead, go ahead. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, well here it is, the Filet-O-Fish. I'm gonna have to take a little nibble. Wow, pretty amazing. So in Luke chapter 9, we find out in this passage that God is able, that Christ is able to take the little things in our life and really be able to do some really big things. And we're able to see that, you know, whether it's your talent or whether you're dealing with some things in your life, He can take care of that. And that leads me to my second part in this that I think we overlook. So when the disciples noticed that there were 5 to 10,000 people for them to feed, you know what their advice was? Send them out to the village. Look, there's no way we can take care of this. They're thinking about prepping. They're thinking about what it would take in order to do this. All the tables they're going to have to set up, chairs they're going to have to set up, food they're going to have to try to go find. They're thinking about all this. So their idea is just send them out to the villages. Let them get their own food. Let them take care of their own problems. And that's it. That is what we can learn from this passage. Do not go out into this world and look for ways to fix your problems. Don't just go and say, I gotta go find something else. I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that to try to fix a problem that I have. Whether it's a small problem or whether it is a really big problem. Quit trying to go somewhere else to fix it. They were literally standing next to the Son of God who can take care of it, and they had no clue. So my advice, that the advice that Luke 9 tells us is this, that hey, sit down, relax, open up His Word, and let the Son of God feed you. Let Him fix your problems. And I think whenever you see that happening, you'll see that your stress level will go down. You'll see that things in your life will go for the good. And so I hope and I pray that when you look through the meals of Christ, that one of the things you see is here in Luke chapter 9, that Christ saw a huge crowd and He took a little bit of food and He fed them. Why? Because He wanted to help them. He wanted to provide for them. And so let that be an encouragement to you, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you for being part of Dash Cam with Derrick. And if you want a Filet-O-Fish, please let me know.
Dash Cam.